Hi, I'm Don Carr, and this is the DSM Humboldt Electronic Simplifier Deluxe. Simplifier Deluxe is an all-analog 0-watt dual-channel amp with knobs and switches and no menus. It comes with a stereo effects loop, power amp, speaker cabinet, and microphone simulators, stereo multi-stage reverb, and offers the ultimate in connectivity and routing options in a very small format. Okay, so all these knobs, switches, and connections being called the Simplifier does exhibit some serious irony. However, what the Simplifier actually simplifies is the question of how do I make all of my gear work the way I want it to? So it's not only a bunch of great amp and cabinet sounds, it's also a hub for routing all of your pedals and configuring any version of how you'd like to split the two amps in the stereo field. So you can use it as a 2-channel amp in either mono or stereo, a single input with parallel amps, so that's one on each side, or as 2 separate mono signal paths that can be used simultaneously, as in completely 2 separate rigs. To recap, simple to use? That's a relative concept. Simplifying your connectivity issues? Most definitely. The easiest way to look at the Simplifier is in sections. So this being the preamp section, these 2 rows right here, that's channel A and channel B. For each channel, we've got 3 modes: clean, lead, and crunch. You've also got 3 amplifier choices: AC Brit, American, and MS Brit. Any combination of those you can use for either channel. The other thing that's really nice is that the 2 channels are voiced slightly differently. So A is a little more articulate and B is a little rounder and a little warmer. Now it's very subtle, but it does help you dial in exactly what you want. This row of knobs and switches is channel A and this is channel B, right? So you've got level, treble, middle, bass, and the gain control, and then you've got the mode, lead, crunch, or clean, and then you've got the amp selection right there. And so that's for both channels, mirrored in both channels. Pretty simple there, pretty straightforward. The gain control has a lot of sweep in it. So you can get crunchy sounds on the clean setting, you can get cleaner sounds on the dirtier setting. There's a lot of leeway in there. So these 4 knobs and these 2 switches, that's the power amp simulation section, right? So it gives you that interaction that you want between the preamp and the power amp and all those little nuances. You've got a resonance and a presence control for each side of the stereo field or each channel, depending on how you have it set up. And you've got tube types. You can choose between KT88s, EL34s, and 6L6s. Right next to that, we have the cabinet simulator, microphone simulator section. So you've got 3 different types of cabinets you can choose from. You can choose from a combo, a stack, or a twin, again, for each side. And then you've also got mic position, which simulates moving the mic from the center of the cone to the edge of the cone. And so that's a variable control all the way. Again, you can do that individually for either side or either amp, depending on how you have it set up. The last 2 knobs are reverb controls, one for each side or each amp, again, depending on how you have it set up. You've actually got 3 algorithms you can choose from. You've got room, ether, and plate. Taking a look across the bottom row, you've got a switch that will allow you to switch between channel A and B. And right next to that is a jack for a foot switch. And this is the foot switch that works with this particular unit. You can switch between the channels and you can also switch the reverb on and off. Right next to that is the reverb selection switch. And then a switch called stereo spread. Now that's a pretty interesting switch. What it does is it kind of simulates stereo if you're in mono, and it also kind of widens your stereo field if you've got sort of the same thing going on both sides of the stereo spectrum. The very small knob sticking out of the side here is for the headphone level. You've got a headphone jack here and an aux-in jack. Makes it a great practice tool. Coming around to this side of the pedal, you've got the XLR outs with the ground lift. Very handy. Gotta love that. And then across the top here, you can see we have the unbalanced out, left and right out. You can also see there's a couple of switches. For either side, you can turn off the cab sim and the power amp sim coming out of the unbalanced outs. There's a lot going on this side of the pedal. You've got the input, the effects loop, and you've also got a through, which gives you an unaffected signal. And beneath all of the connections are where the switches are that allow for all the routing options. Here's something that's helped me out quite a bit getting this thing set up, is the quick start guide that comes with the Simplifier. It's super handy and clearly written. You'll definitely want to keep it close by until you get used to the intricacies and specifics. All right, let's give it a listen. So the way I've got it set up now is a 2-channel amp in stereo, and I've got a mono effects send and a stereo effects return. I'm running into an Apollo Twin. I'm recording into Pro Tools, but this is just a capture system. The only thing you're hearing right now is the Simplifier Deluxe on the clean setting AC Brit channel A with some verb. Let's look at the power amp, cabinet, and microphone settings. So you can see I have the mic just closer to the edge as opposed to the center. I'm on stack mode for both cabinets and EL34s for the tube selection. I've got the presence down and the resonance up a little bit. Now I'm going to switch to channel B, use those same settings that I used for A. And channel B is set to lead mode MS Brit. Let's use that as our starting point. I'll dial around a little bit so you can hear what's going on. We're going to stay in lead mode for now. Okay, so I'm going to stay in B, switch to American Clean. I've got the levels set. Let's dial around. So I'll take that same sound. I'm going to mess with the power amp and the cab sim part. Okay, I'm going to switch back to A. We're going to go to the crunch channel on AC Brit. Getting some pretty good clean tones out of this too, actually. I'm going to change the stereo field up a little bit. I've got one side basically dialed in darker and one side a little bit brighter. And I'm going to start with just that, and then I'm going to add a ping-pong delay so you can really hear both sides individually. So here's what it sounds like more or less combined. And now here's with the ping-pong delay. Thanks for checking out this quick overview of the DSM Humboldt Electronic Simplifier Deluxe with me. This thing obviously does a lot of stuff. There's a lot to explore with it. So if you have any questions about this or any other DSM Humboldt product, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer or start at sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click here for more videos like this, and thanks for watching.